Just like a regular artist might use different brush sizes, I like to use different size objects. If you were a painter, you'd grab a medium-sized brush, and then you might grab a small one. So I do the same thing, just with junk. If you're going to do portrait work, you're almost limiting your story in a way. However, if you're going to tell a story and use less words, each one of those words means a whole lot more. The objects that I get and use in the artworks come from just all kinds of different places and have different meanings. I just got this probably a couple of months ago. You would put film slides in this and project it and like look at the pictures you took. And you just wonder like where this came from. And I mean, I know who I got it from, but you wonder about them using this and going through like family photos or something. And then now it's been saved and given to me, and I'll be able to glue this on an artwork.
When I knew he was doing me, I started to collect a lot of things that were me. I was like, I want parts of me to be in that portrait of me. I think that creates a connection with the subject and the portrait. And like painting stuff doesn't really do. It's like, here's actually a piece of my life on this portrait.
We as people put a lot of power into objects. When I made the first artwork in this series, it was of my friend Dave. Since it was the first one, really the only objects I had around were my own things. A lot of the objects that went onto that artwork were very personal.
He used stuff from when we were growing up. Like he had kept a chain from a bicycle ride that I had busted the chain on a bicycle ride. He kept it. And everybody sees the junk, but when I look at it, I see all the things that we did when we were kids growing up, and that's what makes that picture so special to me. It just brings back, flooding my mind with all those cool memories.
The only thing that I use on the artworks is stuff that's given to me, stuff that's collected, stuff I see, stuff that friends and family see and pick up for me. So I don't go buy anything. The package just arrived from my aunt in Georgia. Who knows what someone else considers to be what they'd throw away, what they wouldn't throw away, or even people that have collected for me for a while, they go through their day thinking, what might Zac need, or what would he really think would be unique to put on an artwork?
I've been collecting items for Zac for probably at least 10 years. It's become a fun project. I always think, can Zac use this? Can Zac use that?
Zac comes to Peach to visit me to play pool mostly, but to see if I have any more debris to give to him, as I like to call it, things that I found on the beach or on the street, or broken jewelry on the floor in Peach. All right, Zac, we got something for you.
All right.
The narrative that I'm trying to create with artwork is about everyday people and everyday objects. It's about us in this time, in this place, and our culture. And these are a reflection of us in what we use and what we throw away. And it's not even really just throwaway objects, it's just what inhabits our lives from the time we're young to the time we die.
In the lab, I have a little box there that says Zac's film canisters. We take the film out of the canisters and process their film, and then we keep the canisters for Zac because he uses them for his artwork. After I accumulate so many, I let him know, and then he comes in and picks them up.
The film canisters, I use them all the time ever since I started. The black ones are incredibly rare now. I think they're a Kodak brand. It was just 11, 12 years ago that, not everyone had digital cameras. Everyone still shot with rolls of film. So I just got tons of them. Things change just so fast. Everyone has 8-track tapes, and then everyone has cassette tapes, and then everyone has CDs, and it goes to digital, and what do you do with all those things? I go around and I get bags of junk from different people at different times, but then it goes through a process in my studio. So I have everything just kind of sectioned off onto these lids. Once that's done, I'll take just that pile and put it in the bin that I have designated for small reds. In the very beginning, it really just started with just the first box, my junk drawer. The drawer that you have in your house that you throw anything in. It's almost a drawer that you don't know where to put it, so that thing goes in there. That quickly changed into a white bin, a gray bin, and a black bin. And then when I started making more and more, I would just go through that stuff. I really needed to expand. I wanted to incorporate color, large green objects, medium size green objects, small, and then green tops. Things have their place and that's where they should be, and it should be organized. It's kind of what I do on the artworks. When I build the artworks up with junk, I never try to build it sculpturally correct. You know, nose obviously comes out further from the face. I don't build that part out. It might end up that way, but I might do the opposite. I might build the cheeks out and leave the nose flat. Try to capture several emotions in one instance so that maybe depending on the mood the viewer's in, it might change and they think the person they're looking at is pensive or deep in thought. When I do a photo shoot, I capture probably 100 pictures of a subject. Usually one comes out of that, out of 100. I guess on a single piece of artwork, I don't really know how many pieces end up on it, but I would guess it's in the thousands. I don't allow myself to change an object. I just like to use it just as it is, because for me, this thing existed in this time and place like this. It has its own life and its own energy, I guess. And so I just use it like that. Being influenced to make art and make a statement, I'm influenced really just by life. What's happening? What's our culture like? What's the world like? How do people treat each other? It really all just comes from life. I enjoy the idea of someone looking at the artwork many years from now, just thinking what they would think about these objects. Something I may put on an artwork today looks reasonably common. 100 years from now, it'll look so archaic, like, I can't believe people use phones like this. The artworks, in a way, just save a time and place and our culture and how we lived, just in the objects that we use every day. In a big way, the artworks become like a giant time capsule. Anything that's ever come out of the studio, anything that, I say this is an artwork of mine, whatever it was I was looking for to do, a story I wanted to tell, all of it happened. And it's there for you to read.
Ever the whip, a nose ever the trip, yep. A little bit for something.